Chuck E. Chan.
Here comes Chuck E. Chan.
Martial arts expert of reptile land.
What's up, jabronis? So, Ethan Klein has responded to Idubbbz Content Cop on H3. He goes through the whole thing. I haven't watched all of Ethan's response because he did an entire podcast episode, and it's nearly 5 hours long, but I did get 2.5 hours into it, and I feel like there's not that many more points that can be made, as realistically Idubbbz video doesn't really make all that many points against Ethan. It's a lot of just rehashing the same things and not really adding any validity to the points he's trying to make. Now, one thing that was crystal clear when watching the Content Cop was that Idubbbz was obscuring his connection with Hasan and Denims and the other Hasan orbiters. As to, he phrases it in the video as he follows. He says, "We do be following," referring to him following Denims and Frogan and whoever on social media. And he's like, "Yep, we do be following. Yep." As though he just follows this person and has no idea what they're up to. And you could kind of tell throughout the Content Cop that Idubbbz was being very not genuine and leaving out context, which is ridiculous because literally at the start of the video, Hasan says, "Oh, content nuke. I didn't call it context, puke." Like, and then Idubbbz, throughout the video, leaves out all kinds of context, very transparently so. I went into this Content Cop being someone who's not a fan of Ethan and not a fan of Idubbbz, as objective as I possibly could, but I am someone who does not like Frogan the Frog Lady eating 50 plus pickled eggs on a stream, and Denims. Denims is like, if you're not familiar with her, she's basically the stupidest person on Twitch. She is unable to construct an argument with any kind of facts, real data. Like, she's the type of person who will use Google. I feel like it's not even her. I feel like it's random simps in her chat link her to random confirmation bias data, like studies that don't really demonstrate the point she's actually trying to make, but just something similar that are really the dumbest people in society would say, "Oh, well, that proves her right. She's right." Just an impossible to watch moron. Just no one likes Denims. You can't. She's just too stupid to function. And this entire, we're talking about, and that's in the context of a conversation including Hasan Piker, Ethan Klein, and Idubbbz. Denims still stands out as being monumentally stupider than all of them. Wow. Wow. Like, I've gone harder on Ethan Klein than Idubbbz does in his Content Cop. So far already on this channel, in the past I've gone harder on Ethan Klein than in the Content Cop. And in this exact video, I'm going to continue to also go harder on Ethan Klein than Idubbbz does in his Content Cop, which really, I think Ethan is exactly right as to what the motivation for Idubbbz doing this Content Cop is. It is 100% the fact that Ian and his wife, I don't know if they're married, could be his girlfriend, who cares? They're completely irrelevant anyway, that they have a podcast that averages about 3,000 views an episode on YouTube, which is pretty low, right? Like, that is a drop in the ocean compared to the viewership that the H3 podcast has. And I'm somebody who doesn't like Ethan Klein, but you gotta respect that he has a very successful podcast. If it was just their YouTube channels, like the Idubbbz YouTube channel, and let's say the Hasan Twitch channel, and Ethan Klein's H3 Productions YouTube channel, you could say that they were all about even, if only those things exist. But you need to factor in that Idubbbz has a podcast, and Ethan has a podcast, and Ethan's is one of the most popular podcasts in the English-speaking world, oftentimes ranking second in viewership to that of Joe Rogan. Maybe not anymore, but in years past, that was certainly the case. So Hasan is at least like a relevant to online content creation. Idubbbz, no. Like, he's fell off epically. Now, that's a lot to say about somebody who still does have millions of subscribers, but I think Idubbbz is doing this for clout. He's clout chasing, just like the Hasan orbiters are just clout chasing. They're just like Frogan, I feel like, is just the Milo Yiannopoulos of the left. She just looks to create controversy, says outrageous things. She just isn't as funny, charming, or talented, right? Like Milo Yiannopoulos has made a lot of money and actually had a successful career, whereas Frogan's basically a nobody. Both kind of lunatics, realistically, but yeah, Idubbbz, he just wants to be in the spotlight again. He wants attention and he wants views. And his video, the content comp on H3, it's almost up to 6 million views at this point, which is, great for a video. But it has an over 50% dislike ratio because it's crap. It doesn't make good points about Ethan. It hyper focuses. I feel like this content comp is like 60 to 70% entirely focused on Ethan and Hila overstepping. And in my video previously where I talked about this and reacted to just the content comp, which totally leaves out any context, makes it sound like, oh, well, what do you mean? I just follow Denims on Twitter. I don't know her. That Ethan and Hila are overstepping, that they're going way too far. It's unreasonable for them to expect Ian and Ian's wife to speak out against the stuff that the Hasan community is doing. Which, if you don't know, Denims specifically, well, Frogan and Denims on this panel did this racist Jew versus Arab tier list and had Ethan on it. It was quite racist, and they got like banned from Twitch for a couple of days. But beyond that, Denims went on this whole like hate campaign fueled by these other, like, even beneath, there's a tier below Denims, believe it or not in terms of stupidity, or I guess just in terms of obscurity. So they could be far stupider, who knows? But these people, she did a stream where she perpetuated a ridiculous rumor that one of Ethan and Hila's kids, I don't know how many kids they have, keep in mind I don't watch any of these people, but that their kid got sick from an illness that the dog had, that the only way that could happen is if the kid's like rolling around in piles of dog crap and eating dog crap, which is insane, completely insane, considering Ethan is like the most successful person out of the three main people of this video, Hasan, Ethan, and Ian. Ethan's the most successful. Like, Ethan and Hila have a nanny. They probably have a maid. Like, these are all millionaires, and Ethan's the millionairiest. Like, his kids are fine. They wouldn't be bringing it up and mentioning this, that this happened, if it was anything like that. So when Denims goes on this hate campaign and gets her community to call CPS on Ethan and Hila, that's extreme. That's horrible. And Ian Idubbbz completely ignores that, which I think is disgusting. I think Ethan is 100% right. That Ethan was not overstepping as a friend and being ridiculous and requesting that Ian and Ian's wife speak out against these people who have done this, who have went on this insane harassment and smear campaign against Ethan that involves lying to CPS to get them to go to their house and interview the kid in a separate room, and it be this horrible experience. Like, I don't even care that much. Honestly, like, I don't care on a personal level about the trauma that Ethan and Hila went through. It does suck for their kids. Like, their kid was crying because mom and dad have to go to this other room while we interview you. That's horrible, right? Like, that's sucks for the kids. But like Ethan and Hila, it's definitely traumatic for them. I can understand that, but I ultimately don't care. The problem is that this is a waste of CPS time. Anyone who knows anything about CPS, has dealt with CPS, or any other country's equivalent to CPS, who knows people who have dealt with them, understands that these people, this like department, whatever you want to call it, the system of CPS is horribly underfunded, understaffed. There's not enough resources and time in the day for them. They can't get to all the kids who are actually in genuine danger. So when you waste their time and effort, and it's not just they saunter on down and say, hey, is this going on with this kid? No, there's like tons of reporting, there's tons of stuff. It's a full-on investigation. It's hours upon hours upon hours. They probably had to watch hours of just simple YouTube videos about this stuff just to see like what even happened here, what information is even, how did the people who are accusing this Ethan and Hila of neglecting their child, how they even get to that point? Where are they getting this from? Right? So it's a giant waste of their time that could be better spent actually helping a kid who actually is rolling around in feces, who's eating dirt, who's in a horrible situation, who's being abused and neglected. Right? That's what's wrong here. That's why Idubbbz is not only the dumbest person on the planet, she's already proven that before this, but she is a genuine piece of human scum. Garbage, trash. Horrible. Because indirectly, that causes kids to be abused and neglected, genuinely, because that makes it so other kids who are actually in a dangerous situation will be in that dangerous situation for longer because CPS couldn't get to them. And CPS in every city, every town, should be at least 3 times bigger than what they are. They do not even get remotely the chance to help and the kids that they need to help, to investigate the situations they need to investigate. This is horrific what Idubbbz has done and her community has done and Hasan has signed off on. And it's so disgusting and such a bad call for Idubbbz out of just random butthurt to hop on board. Like you're literally like doing a video with these assholes who have done this, who you know have done this, who are it's well documented. Like, why are you even talking about any of this, Idubbbz, if you don't understand that this happened? Yeah, I get it. You goofball losers don't have kids, and you live miserable, horrible lives. I'll get to that in a minute, as to how horrible these pieces of crap are. But first, I need to mention that not only is it more, not only are they horrible, and it's insane to group with them, but prior to this happening, the stuff that Idubbbz shows in his content cop is so underplaying the reality, because H3 on their podcast showed receipts, shows Anissa and Ian posting about talking to these losers like Idubbbz on their socials, DMs between these losers and Idubbbz and Anissa. Like, they have receipts that you are like friends and basically platforming these assholes who are doing this like crazy smear campaign that involves levels of harassment that genuinely result in children being neglected. You can't for a moment pretend like Denham's and her community and these other assholes in good faith called CPS. They absolutely did not. That's just, oh my god, horrific, and you're all losers. You're all absolute losers. It's so, first of all, it's insane that millionaires, Idubbbz a millionaire, Hasan a millionaire, couldn't even make a good content cop. Like, these people have like editors, like teams of people. Not to mention, in the video itself, you have like Denham's and Frogan and the black guy. Sorry, no one knows who this black guy is. No one knows his name. So I have to identify him as such. It's the only thing to go off of, okay? Presumably, all three of them are content creators. You have a team. You yourselves are a team of content creators that should be able to make a good content cop yourself. Just even without your editors and all your mods and all the people you have working for you. But it's like, could you imagine having like 20 plus people, a team of like 20 plus people to make this video and it be as dog shit as this H3 content cop was? Oh my god. How do you not be embarrassed? How do literally all of them not just retire? Just like, call it quits, guys. We're millionaires and we've created a big team of people and we couldn't make one halfway decent video. Not even a quarter decent. Not even make Ethan look bad. A guy who's very easy to make look bad. Now granted, Hasan and his orbiters, his clout chasers, are the easiest people on the internet to make look bad because they're bad people. But oh my goodness, Ethan Klein is easy. He's low-hanging fruit. He literally told his audience before not to think. Just everyone, even beyond his audience, just people in general, the general public. Don't think you don't need to think because other people think for you. Trust the government, every institution, every big business, every governmental organization. Trust them. They got it. Insane. So, Idubbbz is clearly clout chasing off of Hasan and Ethan, realistically, with doing this content cop, and it's transparent. That's why the video sucks so much. Like, he didn't have enough to go off of. He shouldn't have made the video. It's just pathetic. It's just so desperate and lame. And he's in the wrong. It actually genuinely was fair for Ethan and Hila to expect that Ian and his girlfriend speak out against the harassment that these people are doing against Ethan and Hila, because it's horrific. And Idubbbz and Anissa were very publicly being friends with these assholes like Denham and the other orbiters. That's effed up. I would expect someone, if I've been friends with them for like a decade or almost a decade or whatever it was, and they're like a public figure and they're speaking to these people on their socials, associating with these people, I would expect them to like stand up for me, both privately and publicly. Maybe not make a full video about it, but at least like a tweet, a quick post, or at least privately say like, hey, can you back off of Ethan here? Like, what are you doing? You're trying to like mess with his kids. You're harassing his kids. That's like, this is effed up. Now, Ethan and Hila are the only people in this situation who have children, so they're the only people who could understand even potentially the idea of being sympathetic towards a child or another human being. Like, these people like Idubbbz and Hasan and his orbiters, they're all just absolute losers who probably will never have children. They can't even begin to understand what CPS is, what they do, what challenges they face, what challenges the legal system, family court face. They don't get it. They don't know anything about raising children. Not a damn thing. If you have had children in your life even a little bit, or even like friends with kids, how do you not know that it is completely effed up and a giant waste of a very valuable, underfunded, a very tiny, a small resource that should be a giant resource, to waste those people's time is so insane and demented. Holy shit. And the thing is, clearly there's a lot of butthurt here with these content creators. It's so pathetic from me, somebody who hasn't made a dime on YouTube, that these millionaires, these people who have made millions off of this, who if they wanted could just never work another day in their life, and they give a shit what these other people think, right? Because ultimately, who cares? Why would they give a shit? Why would anyone in this situation give a shit besides Ethan and Hila? Because they're facing like actual harassment that's actually like harmful to their kids by having this CPS unnecessary investigation, but also to other people's kids, like the society at large. Oh my god. Like there's the only people who should care about any of this is Ethan and Hila. No one else here has any right to care, because who cares? You even characterize yourself, Idubbbz, as not giving a crap about some of this. So why are you making the content cup? Like what, you're butthurt that like H3's audience has a problem with you? Okay, why do you give a crap? You're a millionaire. Go do your stupid goofy boxing thing. Like what the hell? Like, you refer to Ethan and Hila as not your friends. You don't give a crap about them. You basically state that in your video. You hate them because they're Israeli. Then why are you making an hour-long video about them? Just enjoy your millions of dollars, you moron. And Hasan, Hasan particularly, and Denims, and these other idiots. It's so much worse with Twitch streamers, because they just don't even exist in regular society to any extent. It's demented. It's so incredible how these people just, their entire socializing is this parasocial internet stupidity, this goofiness that it goes beyond all reason. It's like their entire social life, their entire social circle exists in the most backwards parasocial way. Now, to Idubbbz, that's true of just his like YouTube content, but for these people on Twitch, it's so much more severe, because a lot of these Twitch streamers, think about it, they often move away. They move to like LA or Austin, Texas, or wherever to be around other streamers whose friendships are often completely fake. I mean, look at OTK, for example. You have people willing to just discard these friendships at a moment's notice, and it's all for clout anyway. These fake friendships. You're just surrounded by these losers who don't have like real friends outside of these fake clout-based friendships. Oh my god. And that's the entire of their socializing. That's how they exist. They don't have actual friends. They have stream friends. And then this so warps their entire worldview, because who gives a crap? Who cares if this other community is at you? If you're getting crap on Reddit, people are talking bad about you on Twitch or Reddit or you, Twitter. Why would it matter? You're making millions of dollars. Just sit there and keep making millions of dollars. And with Twitch streamers, it's so severe, because I think on some level they realize all these friendships they have are completely fake, completely BS, people just trying to make a buck. So then they start to believe that their like weird parasocial relationships that they have with their chat, their live chat, their viewers, is worth anything. So you get these people who are like hypersensitive, completely irrational, insanely defensive over the slightest bit of criticism. Because if Idubbbz and his girlfriend are associating with Denims and the other assholes, which they were, very publicly, then yeah, Ethan and Hila are 100% in the right to criticize you for not sticking up for them. And if you get some backlash, it's deserved. It's 1,000% deserved. And with the actual content of what these people have done, especially Denims with this CPS thing, it's 1,000,000% deserved. So, but at the end of the day, why do you even care? And then to come out on the side of Denims, oh my god, what the hell is wrong with these people? Like, their entire thinking is just backwards. And how parasocial and sad and terminally online is your existence that you don't even understand what CPS is, how it functions, how it's underfunded, how there should be 10 times the locations that there are, and like 20 times the workers, that they don't have time to help the kids that need help because they deal with goofy shit like this, false reports, and over just disagreeing on politics, on a political situation. Now it's a tense political situation, and you can be passionate about it, but just vocalize it. Just say, I disagree with you, Ethan. To turn it into this whole bizarre harassment campaign when it's so inconsequential. I'm sorry, but realistically, if everyone in the United States was on one side of the thing, if they were with Palestine or 100% with Israel, do you really think it would matter? Do you really think that the government of the United States would even factor that in? And what are they even going to do about it? Huh? Like, it's so bizarre. It's so bizarre to me. That, especially with that in particular, where like both sides have done some pretty crappy stuff. And even Ethan and Hila in their video responding to this content cop point that out. They're like, yeah, there's some stuff that Israel does that we don't like. And if from day one, when Hasan and Ethan were doing a podcast together, Ethan said this stuff. So it's just that Ethan isn't as extreme on your side enough. What the hell is wrong with you? To harass his kids? Oh my god, how could you think you're a good person and you're in the right? Like, not only Denims, like, at least Denims has the excuse that it's already verified that she's the dumbest person on Twitch. And Hasan has shown his stupidity time and time again. But, like, there's more. Like, I would expect there to be, a web of Hasan orbiters. But for, like, a guy like Idubbbz, who's a millionaire, to force himself into the position of Hasan orbiter, when Hasan orbiters are being the biggest shitheads they possibly could be. Wow. Like, whew, weird choice, man. You should have just enjoyed your millions and given up on content creation, because this content cop on H3, you could not have done a worse job. Wasn't funny at all. You didn't make any good points. Wow. Like, do you care enough to make an hour-long video to collaborate with other content creators, and you just made yourself look like an asshole? Whew. Great job, man.
Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang. Spread their ass on Pakistan.